Highlights and what it means for the West. Plus, speaking of peeking, the Jays, they're put a beating on Miami last night. It's a big perk. He's going to tell us how much trouble is the rest of the Eastern Conference in. And two of the West's best, they face off tonight in Oklahoma City. Are the Lakers ready to level up, or is this still SGA's conference to control? NBA Today starts right now. So last night, the San Antonio Spurs, they made it official. They've won 15 straight games with Victor Wembanyama in the lineup. And Wemby, he is the first player to average at least 25 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks during an individual win streak of 15 games since Shaquille O'Neal when he did it in 1999-2000. That was his MVP season with the Los Angeles Lakers. And while MVP candidates, they're all putting in those best and final arguments, Victor is certainly making a strong case to get some votes here. He became the youngest player ever with 40 points and 15 rebounds in consecutive games. So we mentioned Artemis II took flight yesterday, but so did Victor Wembanyama. Let's check out how he went to infinity and beyond here. Perk, DG, Brian in the Bay Area.
Did you see that? I didn't see him do that.
We're going to pick this up in the first quarter. Stephon Castle finds Wemby. That connection has been so strong here, Perk.
It has. And look, the disrespect of trying to switch smalls on Wemby, he's taking full advantage of that.
Well, just a few minutes later there, Spurs on the break. Dylan Harper.
We're all smalls to him.
Lobs it up to Wemby, finishing strong. Another look at that one here. And then check this out, Danny. Wemby gets it at the elbow right here. 3 defenders collapse, but he just dribbles through them and stretches for the dunk.
Wow. Yeah, they try to play a zone, man, it don't matter.
Probably got fouled, too.
Again, everybody's smalls.
That's what you call a cheat code there. And then Wembanyama sizes up Draymond Green. We know there's a little beef between those two. He becomes the first Spurs player with 25 points, 10 rebounds, and a half in the play-by-play era. So to the fourth quarter we go. Yeah, get that dirt off your shoulder. Fourth quarter, the Spurs up 13. Wembanyama stretching the floor. Hits the 3 at the top of the key.
I love the balance. Inside out. Big man first with guard skills.
Wemby, he finished this one with 41 points, 18 rebounds. Here's Victor Wembanyama with our friend Scott Van Pelt.
I think that all the greats, that are in the Hall of Fame or that are, in our mind, the best of all time, they have fought and grabbed everything they could grab early on in their career, And if I want to make my spot among the greats, I got to try to not miss any occasion I have to put my name up there.
So let's just take some inventory here. Last night was Wemby's 3rd career game with at least 40 points scored in 30 or fewer minutes, right? This is since minutes were first tracked in 1951-52. Only Steph Curry, Klay Thompson have done that more times. And then when you add those 10 rebounds, Wemby's the only player in league history to have done it 3 times. By the way, all of them have come this season. So Perk, he's making easy work for himself on the inside. How's he doing it?
Well, it's a lot of, is Wemby going to win the MVP? Is he going to win Most Improved? Is he going to win Defensive Player of the Year? We don't know yet. But the one thing that we do know is that he's the most dominant player in the NBA right now. That's what we do know. And you know why? Because he has found that balance of being a big man first with guard skills. And over the last month, he has found his role in it and has embraced it for us being a screen setter. They disrespect him by putting a small on him, throw it up to the rim. He dominates and finishes well. Last night we saw this. Again, here you go, the 2-man game. Pajemski with the switch, they just throws it up at the rim. Wemby 7-7, he goes and finish. He had 22 of his 41 points in the paint. This is the Wemby that I've been asking for. And if he continues, which he will, to play like this, look at these numbers, it's no game plan whatsoever come postseason time that any coach could put together to stop this man offensively.
I also love that you usually start these segments at the big board by saying, hello, world. But since Wemby is out of this world, you couldn't actually start it that way.
It's his world. I'm just trying to get an appointment.
Well, especially because he had 41 points, 18 rebounds, 3 blocks, 0 turnovers, right, in 29 minutes against Golden State. And, Brian, I was sitting next to you last night as you were watching Victor. What's going through your mind when you see him play?
He had the other day against Chicago, not the best team. He had a double-double in 8.5 minutes.
Sure.
Last night he played Golden State. They were sitting their healthy players for the most part. It wasn't the greatest NBA team ever. He had 20 and 10 in 12 minutes. 20 and 10. That's a career in 12 minutes. His level that he keeps playing at is going up and up and up. And we haven't even hit the playoffs yet.
Right.
And he didn't even play in that many minutes. And so, look, I can't take my eyes off of him.
Yeah.
He's must-see TV. I probably should stay home tonight and watch the Lakers Thunder because it's a very important game.
Yes, it's a good one.
It's a big
But Victor's in town tonight. And I'm probably going to miss some of that Lakers Thunder game because I'm going over to
You
the
have to drive
Clippers.
across. Yeah.
Because I'm going to watch him play.
Because every night he does something incredible. And Perk, I know you said that there's nothing that anyone can do to stop him. However, there are 29 head coaches around the league right now that are looking at game planning, what they can do to slow down Victor Wembanyama. And tonight it's Ty Lue and the Los Angeles Clippers, Danny. There has to be something.
Spurs fans aren't going to like this, me giving out some of the secrets, but anybody knows playing in the league and playing against certain superstars, it is a team sport. It's a 5-man game. And there are ways to slow down one player. The pick your poison thing is, are you going to stop him or let the others beat you? Like, the others are good enough to beat you. So when it comes to Victor Wembanyama, if you look at that Phoenix Suns tape from way back in November, which we haven't seen much of, put a smaller defender on him, get him underneath him a little bit, force a double team, make him pass out of double teams. A lot of guys haven't seen it a lot. It takes time to adjust to that. You know, even playing with Joel Embiid, it took some time to learn how to pass at a double team or find guys on the weak side. He's gotten a lot better. But, again, if you throw a double at him, he's an unselfish player. It'll take the ball out of his hands, and it'll make those other guys have to beat you, which they are capable of doing. But it will slow him down.
Perk, remember when me and you were kids in the 90s?
At the same time.
We're in our 40s now.
Yeah.
Shaq.
Yep.
Watching Victor dominate like this reminds me of 90s Shaq. Reminds me of the way Shaq, in a different way, obviously.
Yeah.
Shaq on the interior. He's ripping down backboards left and right. Watching how Victor dominates these games like this reminds me, and kind of unstoppable, and like we've never seen anything like it. That kind of reminds me of like watching Shaq as a Magic.
And Danny, you said back in December.
Like November, December,
yeah, the start of the season.
A lot has changed since then.
But again, like my grandmother say, he has an old soul, baby. The maturity level, the growth. See, at the beginning of the season, they were trying to find ways to get him in isolation.
Yeah.
Right? So it was easy to guard him. Now, all of a sudden, it's multiple actions, whether he's bringing it up, quick dribble handoffs.
Right.
They running pin downs for him at times. But the most important thing is that he's figured it out. Forget all trying to get in my bag and show the world I could be KD or Jamal Crawford. No, I'm going to set a simple screen. You switch. I'm taller than you. Just throw it up.
There's got to be something. I mean, it's easier said than done besides prayer defense. That Castle-Wemby pick and roll is also so efficient, and they've gotten so good at it that's added a new dimension for what teams have to play.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Coach Mitch Johnson. He's kind of figured it out as well. Put him in the right position.
He's the coach of the year.
To put him and Stephon Castle and Fox. You got guys like Champagnie, Vassell that can shoot. Keldon Johnson come off the bench. So many threats that it's hard to double him when they can score from the outside.
They have 2 games left, I believe, with the Nuggets. I'm not sure if everybody's going to play every game, but it's almost like, just like the Thunder have 2 games up with the Lakers.
It depends. It depends. If the Thunder lose,
and the 1 seed's up for grabs.
You know, 1 seed up for grabs, I guarantee you they finish out.
We got some action here left in the regular season, is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we certainly do, including tonight. You mentioned that you may have to miss a bit of a very, very important game. We got a real litmus test. It could teach us a lot about the Los Angeles Lakers and how big or small the gaps are between the West's best. The Thunder and Lakers, they have the 2 of the 3 top records in the NBA since March 1st, alongside, of course, San Antonio. Not to mention, they have the 2 leading scorers in the NBA this season with Luka Doncic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, history says the Thunder are 2-0 against the Lakers this season. Tonight, though, it feels like maybe there's something a little bit more at stake here, Brian.
Yeah, so, look, obviously, people feel a certain way about Luka and the MVP. This is a chance to go up against the reigning MVP, the guy who I believe is going to win it again. And, look, this is potential playoff situation. And so you have a team that has been the number 1 clutch team in the whole season, all year long, in the Lakers, against the number 1 clutch player in scoring in Shai. I am begging for this game to go to clutch time.
Oh, my goodness. Please,
and I want to see it go to clutch time again on next Tuesday when they're here. Okay? And here's something else. Luka's got how many games in a row with 40 points? It's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like 14 or 13 or 12. You know the Thunder aren't going to talk about it? Let's get a former Thunder here. You know they're going to want to end this streak And by the way, they're fully healthy tonight. They're going to have their full team, all their perimeter defenders. They're going to have Jalen Williams. They're going to have their interior guys. They're going to want to stop Luka's
They're
streak.
fully healthy. The Lakers, though, are not. Marcus Smart's still out for this one. That could be huge because of his defense on Shea.
Oh, absolutely. But the Lakers need this win like old people need soft shoes. I'm talking about a fresh pair of New Balance. Let me tell you why. Because they are 1-5 against the top 2 seeds in the Western Conference, the Spurs and OKC. Matter of fact, they haven't beaten the Oklahoma City Thunder not one time this year. So when you talk about the way, when we look at the way that the Lakers have been playing of late, Luka Doncic in the MVP conversation, LeBron James playing with passion. Now you're going against the champs.
Right.
This is your measuring stick. This is a moment where the Lakers could come out of this with a feel-good win so that the Laker fans, I could apologize to y'all and y'all could stay the hell out of my comments.
Well, I don't know that that's ever going to happen, Perk. You make it too easy. But earlier this season, after one of those losses that you mentioned, it was by like 29 points. I was in Oklahoma City for this one. I was on the sidelines, and LeBron James, he said essentially, they're a championship team and we're not. The eye test to me says that this Lakers team has changed, improved, developed a lot since then.
Tremendously.
So what can they show you tonight to say that maybe that gap, it may not be the same, but it's narrowed a little bit?
They can prove not only to themselves but to the world that they are a way better defensive team than they were 2 months ago.
It's all on that.
And that's where it started. And people are giving Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, which they have stepped up, but I think it starts with the stars. Like, Austin Reeves and Luka have been scrambling and playing defense, sliding in front of guys, and that kind of has picked up their offense, sharing the ball, finding Luka's shooting at an unbelievable clip,
Western
averaging
Player
40.
of the Month.
Yeah, a couple of times a week. So with him playing like that offensively and then defensively, them scrambling, they can show that they're really contention.
Luka got nominated for Defensive Player of the Month. Think about that. In all honesty, that's better than winning some other award.
The
like Luka getting nominated for Defensive Player of the Month. That's never happened in his career.
And I think we're forgetting to mention a certain individual named LeBron James. I think he's going to walk into this game, too, trying to prove a point.
And LeBron, if he can get out in transition against a team that really tries to stop that from happening, all those fast break dunks that we've seen for the 41-year-old, if that's something that we're seeing, then maybe we're going to get the close game that Wendy and I here are just hoping for. We're going to have a lot more coming up on this game a little bit later in the show. But, Perk, what would it mean for Philly if they could avoid the play-in? Danny Green, he's going to explain how things are shaping up just right for the 76ers. And I hear you're fired up, Kendrick, about something you saw in Orlando last night. Oh, do not miss what Perk has to say about Paolo Banchero. And the Anthony Towns added his 4th career triple-double. The Knicks, finally, they snapped that 3-game losing streak against the Grizzlies. How much do you love seeing Cat take over? More of this, Perk.
I love it. I think the offense should involve him more. Mike Brown has to do a better job of running the offense through Karl Anthony Towns. He needs to know going into the playoffs that he's the second primary option to Jalen Brunson, and the Knicks will have success.
All right, next up, how about Paul George sticking in the East? He scored a season-high 39. Tyrese Maxey, he had 28, 9 assists. The Wizards were just smashed here by the 76ers. Yeah, Philly's 6th in the East, Danny. Avoiding the play-in, what would it mean for this group?
I mean, a lot, especially with the rest of Joel Embiid and his body. They need that type of rest time. Tyrese Maxey coming off injury. Paul George, he looks very different coming back from suspension. I know Philly fans are upset. Might be a little more forgiving right now. The suspension might have been the best thing for him, but this group needs that type of rest before the playoffs start.
Certainly. Rested is the best way to go into this time of year. All right, off to H-Town. Reed Shepherd, he scored 27 points, a career-high 9 threes. Sanguini, that's what we call him, added 25 points as Houston won their 4th straight. Brian, are you buying this Rockets ascension?
Well, when they don't always hit their threes, Malika, but when they do, it is magnificent. Their defense gives them a chance to win every night, but so often their offense lets them down. Reed Shepherd has been in and out of the starting lineup. He was back in the starting lineup last night. Their threes were falling. And when their threes are falling, they're great, but I don't know if you can rely on it.
How about in Utah? That's where Nikola Jokic recorded his 32nd triple-double this season. Jamal Murray, he poured in 37 points. The Nuggets, they win 7 straight now. So, Perk, what are you liking about the streaking Nuggets?
Oh, it's all Jokic. Yes, Jamal Murray has been balling, but Jokic, he looks in better shape. He's getting up and down the floor better. He's initiating the offense. And, I mean, look, they're finally getting healthy. Guys are slowly coming back into the rotation, and guys are playing at a high level.
How about in Orlando Magic? The Hawks, They keep on soaring. This is their third straight win, 17-2 in their last 19.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, here's how they got it done. The second quarter, Hawks up 4. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he's been a big pickup for them.
Open.
Knocks down the 3. Fired up after that one as well. Hawks up 7. And then Jalen Johnson driving. Gets a tough bucket to go there through traffic. Hyped up there as Orlando takes a timeout. And then Nickeil Alexander-Walker again. Spinning.
Oh.
He's in the conversation as well for his most improved.
Most improved, for sure.
22 points in the first half alone. We mentioned this was a big scoring night for teams across the NBA. Closing seconds of the second. Hey, the bank, it's open. Think you call glass? The Hawks up 72-54 at halftime. And unfortunately, that was not an anomaly across the league yesterday. Heat check. Onyeka Okongwu gets that one going, plus the foul. Hawks up 23 after made 3 free throws. And then Jonathan Kuminga attacks the paint, gets it done. Let's take a listen to Jamal Mosley, none too pleased.
You know, you got to give Atlanta a ton of credit. They have our number in this moment, and they kicked our and that's what it is right now.
To be swept by the Hawks, what
It means we got swept by the Hawks. That's what it means. They kicked our There is no, what does it mean? What does it feel? Legitly, the Hawks have kicked our faithfully.
There were some boos and some chants directed towards you. What do you make of that from the fans?
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Yeah, there was a thankfully that was.
No, he said,
that was.
I think he said faithfully.
Oh, faithfully.
Yeah.
Faithfully.
I've never heard that
Yeah,
before.
there was a faithfully thrown in there. All right, Franz Wagner was back for this one. So the Magic are 6-8, right, when Bane, Banchero, Wagner, and Suggs all play in this one. Perk, what'd you think of what we heard in the biggest issue facing the Magic?
The biggest issue is that the Orlando Magic has quit on Jamal Mosley. They quit. And if we go back, not from last game, go back against that game where they played Toronto a few nights ago. How embarrassing that was.
50 points.
And it starts with Paolo Banchero, right? It starts from the top. How many times this season has he come out publicly, post-game interview, and has threw his coach under the damn bus? He obviously don't want to play for Jamal Mosley, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's fired. Does he deserve to lose his job? Hell no. Paolo Banchero has to play better. Paolo Banchero has to be a better leader. That is the problem. He's been inconsistent. If you ask me, DG, Wendy, Malika, he has taken steps back. At the beginning of the season, after the postseason run he had last season, we was expecting him to be in the conversation
also adding
with the best
Desmond
of
Bane,
them.
right? Like adding Desmond Bane to this team, needing to have shooters. They just haven't added up to the sum of their parts, and they've been bottom of the league in offense and defense, and that's not really a good place to start.
And signing Paolo to a max, and signing Franz Wagner to a match, and extending Jalen Suggs. They've said this is our team.
This is the roster.
And they've mortgaged their future draft assets to get Desmond Bane to win now. They thought they could. They were looking at it and saying, boy, Tatum is hurt, Halliburton is hurt, we can finish top 2. They're flirting with 10th. And again, I think, look, you're going to have, they've had injuries, but you lose by 29 at home in an important game.
You know it, DG. Come on, keep it real.
They've taken some really bad losses that are inexcusable. Shout out to Atlanta. They've been balling. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, off the charts, most improved. But to lose by 30 at home is inexcusable. And again, I don't think it's Jamal Mosley issue. It's a player issue. They need some leadership in that locker room. They need some type of veteran, somebody to step up.
This is the type of year, unfortunately, the coaching carousel, it starts to turn. Are you hearing anything on that
In all
front?
honesty, it's dominated the conversations I've had within the league for the last month and a half. There's potentially significant moving at the coaching ranks, and Orlando is a team people are watching. But I would like Danny, I'd like to say Atlanta, 17-2 in 5th place. Want to point out they have 2 games left with the Cavs. The Cavs are in 4th. I think almost certainly going to finish 4th. That's potentially a playoff preview. They've been defending great. Their perimeter is very strong. And really, this is one team going this way and one team going this way.
And it wasn't the two that you thought that was going to be going those directions. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? We are less than 2 weeks away from the NBA playoffs, and these are the top 7 in the Western Conference. Remember, the Clippers, the Blazers, Golden State, they're all locked in the play-in in some order. We know the Thunder and Spurs, they've clinched those top 2 spots. Who's going to take number 1? But the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Rockets, the Timberwolves, They're all duking it out for 3 through 6. And then in the Eastern Conference, it's the Pistons. They've almost clinched that #1 seed, but then you have the Celtics, the Knicks, the Cavaliers are just about locked into those 2 through 4 spots. But it gets more interesting a little further down. 2.5 games separating the 6th place 76ers and the 10th place Heat. So the Celtics, they decided, yeah, you know what, we're just going to put a beating on Miami last night. Here's how Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they cooled off the Heat. This happened fast. It happened from the jump, Brian. Brown, driving, excuse me, look out below.
Wow.
This first quarter was crazy.
How about Baylor Shireman? Tracks down the loose ball, pushing it up the floor, behind the back.
Explain,
little
Wendy?
change.
Can you explain why it was crazy?
53 points.
The threes were raining down. That was one of the ways that it got crazy. When you're hanging 53 in a quarter, that's insane. It's tied for the second most in a first quarter by any team in the shot clock era. So they were clicking on all cylinders. A minute into the second quarter, the threes kept on raining. Tatum, he's been improving game after game here, getting himself going here. And then under 9 minutes left in the second, Adebayo gets the ball up top, knocks down the three. He had a team-high 29 points. We did want to give the Heat fans something here.
He played. Everybody else?
It didn't really show up. Tatum, Brown, though, they certainly did. Spins, nice little find by Tatum there. And then in the fourth quarter, we could have just called it quits. There could have been a mercy rule here, but Tatum kicks it out to Sam Hauser.
He had a big game.
Knocks down the three.
140 points. Everybody had a big game.
Under 2 minutes left in the fourth. Brown working his way inside. Tatum, rather. And then here we go. Brown, this is just the exclamation part. I'm trying to hurry to the end here for Heat fans.
Shake.
Brown, Tatum, shake, bake, dominate. They roll 147-129 in this one. Now, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they became the first Celtics duo to record a 40-point game and 25-point triple-double since Larry Bird and Kevin McHale did it. That was all the way back in 1985. McHale, he scored 56 points. Bird had that 30, 15, and 10. That was against Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, and the Pistons. So
I'd like to watch that game again.
Right? We're going to have to go back to that tape. You can just watch last night's game and you kind of get the sense of exactly what happened there. That was his 7th for Jaylen Brown, 40-point game of the season. The Celtics improved to 10-2 here with Jason Tatum in the lineup. Perk, you're a resident Boston Celtic. What message did they send the rest of the league?
That they're coming out of the East.
I'm coming
Yeah, they're
out.
coming out of the Eastern Conference. They're the best duo in the Eastern Conference. They got the most experience. They got a guy in Peyton Pritchard who's up for the most improved conversation. But more so than anything else that I learned from this game is that Jason Tatum, and it didn't take long, he's accepted his role. And why do I say that? When Jaylen Brown was out against the Hornets, he was the man, the Batman. Last night, Jaylen Brown comes back. Jason Tatum says, I'm not going to be in your way. Go ahead, do your thing offensively, because I can do other things that's going to show up on the box score. I'm going to go get you 18 rebounds. I'm going to get you 11 dimes. I'm going to show you I can play alongside of you, and I'm going to let you continue to be great. I'm not going to be in your way. I'm going to help you out, and that was the biggest takeaway that I got from that game last night.
Guys, he is averaging 21 and 10. Jason Tatum, 11 months off of surgery, is averaging 21 and 10 at what, 70%?
Yeah.
I mean, that to me, you want to know why the Eastern Conference is in trouble? It's because, look, the first round, we'll see. Second round is where the Eastern Conference playoffs are going to get serious. By the time that comes, we're talking another 4 weeks before that happens.
Right.
Where's Tatum going to be? Look where he's at now. He's averaging 21 and 10. And just now getting his legs underneath him.
Shout out to Joe Mazzulla. What I learned is they become a well-oiled machine. Plug and play. Whoever they get, whoever they trade away, whoever guys go down injuries, you know, fill in for. We had guys in San Antonio. Tony goes down, Patty Mills. You know, we had Dejounte Murray. These guys have become the San Antonio Spurs to me of the East in modern day. You know, regardless of who's injured, who's hurt, Derek White shows up, Hauser, Shireman. You got a multitude of guys, Hugo Hernandez, that can step up and make big plays. But Jason Tatum showed to me that he's almost all the way back. And the way they're shooting threes, efficiently, finding guys, moving the ball, more uncontested than it was in the past, and not just jacking up a bunch early in the shot clock. And they have the balance of it mid-range with Jaylen Brown. but they're shooting at a higher clip because they're moving the ball and being much smarter than they were in the past.
And that was always the thing with the Boston Celtics. Whenever they were in the finals, if they make the threes, they're going to win. If they miss their threes, then it's going to be a problem for them. It's one thing for us up here to sit up here and say this. I'm curious what you're hearing from other Eastern Conference contenders if they are starting to fear the Boston Celtics.
Well, they obviously know the Celtics are asking players to do things that they haven't done before.
Yeah.
Okay, but the results that we're seeing are showing that Baylor Shireman, Jordan Walsh, Hugo Gonzalez, they might be able to do it. Nimi Keita. The other thing is, I think Detroit has distanced themselves a little bit. Even though Cade's been out, Detroit has played so well with Cade out that it has improved everyone's view. Meanwhile, the Knicks and Cavs are struggling. There's been a bit of a divide. Those teams were together for a while,
and now
they're separated.
Sure. And speaking of the Detroit Pistons, help could be on the way, maybe sooner rather than later.
Hope
because
so.
The Pistons say that Cade Cunningham, he's progressing, and he could return from this collapsed lung, but he's going to be reevaluated in a week. So just 6 games remaining, remember. So that drops that timeline for him below the 65-game threshold. So unfortunately, that does end his postseason award eligibility. But let's just put into context how great he has been on both ends of the floor this season, right? Because he deserves some flowers here. 5 games with at least 25 points, 10 assists, multiple steals, multiple blocks. The most by any player since in a season where steals and blocks were both recorded. So this has been an awesome season. We hope to see him back here sooner rather than later, reevaluated in a week. But this is cool. The Portland Fire, Toronto Tempo gearing up to add to their rosters in the 2026 WNBA expansion draft. It's tomorrow, 3:30 Eastern, right here on ESPN. And speaking of the W, in case you missed it, New York, stand up. While some teams in the city, they're still chasing banners this century. 2024 champs, Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, they're running it back with the New York Liberty. Stewie announced on her podcast yesterday that she is joining Sabrina in re-signing with the Liberty this offseason instead of testing those free agency waters. Can't wait for the W season to get underway. But we are the home right here on ESPN of the women's Final Four. You don't have to wait for that. It's tomorrow night, highlighted by all 4 number 1 seeds. Dominance. Joyce Edwards, South Carolina, squaring off against AZ Fudd, Sarah Strong, and the Goons at UConn. They have a squad. That's at 7 o'clock Eastern. And then Madison Booker, Texas, taking on Lauren Betts and UCLA. Coach says this is the one she's watching. Our Final Four pregame special from Phoenix. It begins at 6 o'clock. We're also going to have a special courtside presentation of both games on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. We have all sorts of cool guests joining. Visit his performance last night one more time. Also, I love that he did the shout out to NASA. That was just great. All right, the Spurs, they led 10-0. We wondered if the Warriors would ever score. But this is the 3rd time this season in which the Spurs scored at least the first 10 points. And then there's Victor, big part of that. 14th time this year, he scored 10 points, 5 rebounds, Perk, in a single quarter.
I mean, look, out of the pick and roll action, not doing too much, and we know he gonna do that. That's why he's gonna win Defensive Player of the Year. But even in this highlight, I want you to understand, you got to have a certain type of mentality to say, I don't care if you put the whole team on me.
Past the screen. This is, I can't call
With
it
the love.
That's nasty.
I'm not sure I can say it's a zone. It's a suggestion of a zone, but he splits the triple team.
The Warriors were ill-equipped to defend him in this game because of who they didn't have, but he dominated that.
17 points in the first quarter, tied for his 2nd most in a first quarter in his career. Knocks down the 3 in the second half, and then this block.
Well, he's playing with a bunch of kids out. It looks like AI, some of his plays he does.
And then Wemby cuts through the Warriors' defense easily here. Zig-zag. He had 41 points, 29 minutes of action. Here's what Wemby had to say about the team's lack of playoff experience.
Yeah, we don't have experience, right? Screw it. I mean, that's all we got. We're not going to play any different way just because it is this way. I mean, we're still going to play 100% and go to try to win this championship. Screw it.
Love it.
Screw it.
Love his energy.
I love the energy, the earnestness in which he was chatting with our friend Scott Van Pelt. And here's a look at the favorites to win the NBA title this season, according to DraftKings Sportsbook, right? Yes, the Thunder are the clear favorites at plus 130. Look at the Boston Celtics, 2nd best odds here. And then here comes the San Antonio 6-1. And then, yes, you have the Nuggets, the Cavaliers, the Knicks, the Pistons, the Lakers. But since we're talking contenders, I don't want to know about the odds. I want to know about Big Perk. I think it's time for Big Perk's big list.
Damn it, it's not your list. It's Big Perk's list. There's actually rules to this, okay? You will speak when spoken to. Give me some energy.
Bam.
That's it? Bam! 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 Put put it up there. It's not your list. It's mine. Hello, world. Hey, it's my time, damn it. Wemby said, screw it. Screw it. I don't care if y'all agree with this list because it's not your list. Y'all understand the assignment of
we just heard the rules
in this segment.
We do.
And since we're under 2 weeks away, damn it, it's only right to have a big Perks, big list, a top 5 title contender.
Let's do it.
Again, this is my list. And since you bringing that energy and you ready, go ahead and skip up there and hit number 5.
Bam!
Put it up there, damn it. I like it. I like what I'm seeing from them. Austin Reeves, Luka, LeBron, they figured it out offensively. And on the defensive side, DeAndre Ayton has finally bought into his role. Marcus Smart is doing his thing. And J.J. Redick is coaching his behind off right now. This group is together. They're playing with passion. Most importantly, I love LeBron James' body language on the floor.
Yeah.
DG, walk your bow-legged ass up. Give me some.
Bam!
Put it up there, damn it. The Denver Nuggets.
Okay.
They haven't been healthy. They really haven't had a quality win, but they got Nikola Jokic, one of the best players in the game, who looks like he's in better shape now. Jamal Murray is playing at somewhat of an all-NBA level. And as they continue to get healthy, we know they have a championship core. They're going to be right in the thick of things. So I got them at number 4 because I could never count out Jokic when it comes down to contending for a title. Wendy, where you at?
I feel like this might be green. Put it up there!
Bam!
There you go.
Did you cheat?
No, sir. No,
Well,
sir.
the Celtics.
No, sir.
The Celtics, the best team in the Eastern Conference. And might be the only team in the Eastern Conference that made my list. Why? Because they got the best duo in the East. They have the most championship experience in the East.
That's true.
Coach Mazzulla has his system. Peyton Pritchard's been a bright spot, and the role players are being stars in their role. And you know what else? Last but not least, they're a top 5 defensive team in the NBA. Malika, come on over here, girl. Give me the
There you go.
Hey.
Bam!
The Thunder. The defending champs.
Number 2.
Yes, SGA is doing his
goodness.
thing, and he's probably going to win MVP. J-Dub is just coming back. I don't know how he's going to be ready or how he's going to look postseason time. Yes, they have all the pieces. I understand that. OKC, y'all know how I feel about y'all. I can't wait to go back maybe in the conference finals to get that standing ovation. But y'all number 2 right now.
You're gonna be in the
And then
pool,
number
yeah.
1, bam! Damn it. If Wemby says screw it, I'm saying screw it. Forget the experience. I'm rolling with this individual right here in the San Antonio Spurs.
Wow.
They check all the boxes. You want perimeter play on the offensive end? They got that. You want a young facilitator that's been learning throughout the course of the season how to play the point guard spot in Stephon Castle? They have that. And do you want that defensive presence and that tenacity? They got that, led by Wemby, and they have a Coach of the Year candidate in Mitch Johnson on the sideline.
Wow.
This is my top 5 title contenders. It will not change because we're less than 2 weeks away from the actual playoff start.
That is.
Got no
This
arguments
list
there.
tells me, well, I might have an argument, but this list tells me one thing. It tells me that the Western Conference is entirely stacked right now, because there was a time we were talking about the Knicks, the Cavaliers.
Yeah, no
clearly
Knicks, Perk. No
you've
Knicks.
changed your tune here,
Yeah,
Ken.
looking shaky lately.
All right, let's stick in the East here. Not maybe the top, but the bottom. Did you guys see this April Fool's joke on an unsuspecting fan?
Oh, yes.
For $10,000. Oh my!
Yes, sir.
Take a look at the screen for the replay. That was crazy. You go up with it right here, and you see how it just doesn't actually go in.
So they said, yay, you won $10,000.
They sold it.
That's cold-blooded.
The reaction was
They
great.
flew in all the other mascots to sell it too.
However,
Great.
the team did say that the fan got like an autographed jersey, some courtside seats, and a big ol' apology. You know when there's an apology for a
It's a
joke?
whole lie in this. That person who thought they won that $10,000 was mad as hell And I would have been too. You don't play with people's emotions like that.
I mean,
in
April
2026. April Fool me some type of other way. Not
Perk saying April Fools, give me that 10K.
Yeah, straight up, I don't want to sign a jersey or a
Don't play with the bank balance.
to them anyway.
Coming up here on NBA Today, it's a star-studded showdown. Let's look ahead tonight between the MVP candidates. Who has the edge? Dave McMenamin is diving into Lakers Thunder after this.